need to get closer. The majority of picture of that the video is our Disney character microphone.
Our Disney character microphone?
You know, like from Disney. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. How is everybody doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing today?
You know, I'm doing fantastic.
I'm glad to hear it.
Absolutely.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Baby needs shoes. Baby needs shoes. I feel you.
I love that name.
I feel that.
Let's go.
I feel that a lot.
Would you like to pray us in?
I would love to pray us in. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this amazing time together. Thank you for just an opportunity to have community and prayer with a group of people that we wouldn't be able to get together with. As much as I would love to get together for coffee and hang out and open our Bibles together, you provide ways. You're Jehovah Jireh. You provide in ways that are absolutely amazing and beyond our control. So thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Please guide our words as we share and hope to just spark curiosity in people. We don't come to you with all the answers. We don't come to you thinking we know it all. We come to you excited to learn about your word. Help us to share that excitement with others. Amen.
I absolutely love listening to you pray.
Because I get hyped. Jesus' word make me hyped.
Dang right. All right, so as we've done with every other show, what show number is this?
That's on there.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that fancy?
It is extremely fancy.
So whatever the good morning, Mom. Good morning, Jewel. Hi. The scripture cards. Put the day of it on there.
So am I just chopped liver, Joel? Is that what we're saying right now? I'm kidding.
Liver chopped.
Good morning to you as well, Joel.
If you're driving, be careful.
Yes, if you're driving, be careful.
Yes, all the things.
Thank you.
Oh, I hate my side profile. I gotta figure out for that. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
No, we're good. So as we've done over the last 11 days now, day 12, we are going to talk a little bit about the New Testament, and then we're going to bring up a correlating verse in the Old Testament. And we're doing this for a reason, because there's a couple of amazing little souls that, and they're not little, they're grown women.
Nope, they're kids.
But they're yes.
They're kids to us, and one of them might be out here right now. Maybe both of them.
Exactly. But for everybody, let's just be real. It is so easy and I shouldn't say easy, but it's more relatable to read the New Testament than it is the Old Testament. So to bring the Old Testament alive, we are pulling correlations from the NT to the Old T, just to throw out a little bit of lingo there. Old Testament, New Testament.
Ooh,
I know. All right, so as we start, let us start with the New Testament reading.
The book of John. Where's John in the Bible?
Right in the middle.
Mm.
Ish.
Old Testament's like 2/3 of the Bible.
Well, you know what I'm trying to get at. I was trying to make it funny, but clearly it did not land.
It's too early for funny in my brain.
That's fair. That is fair. John is in the New Testament, a couple books in. I believe he's the second book.
I thought he was the first. I thought yesterday you told me he was the first.
Is he the first?
Let's look. You know what's really cool?
Because we have a Bible right here.
I have my Bible-bound Bible. Jewel has known this thing probably since the day I got it.
Yeah, that would not shock me.
I just remember I'd come over and your mom would have the Bible open and would be reading it. I'm like, that's so funny, because I never thought I was that much of a Bible reader. By the way, we are not a what is my word?
Sure.
That's so funny. So John is the fourth.
Ooh, look at that.
But what's the first book of the New Testament?
Matt.
Oh, also known as Matthew. That's so interesting.
All right. So see, again, we are just lay people. We don't freaking have all the answers, nor will we ever have all the answers. But we love sharing our love for God. So, a little side note, can I just share this? 2 stories from yesterday.
Yes, please.
All right. So, for those of you who are new, I am a personal trainer, life coach, nutritionist, basically holistic health. And I have the privilege to work with a lot of people in gyms and different things like that. There was a guy who I've seen in the around, and he is always wearing like a redeemed shirt. And it's kind of cool because it's one of those moments. It's like, if you know, you know,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And so I finally just went up to him yesterday, and he just had on a work shirt, nothing new, or that called out his faith. And I just said, you know what? I've seen you here a lot of times. My name is Matt, got his name, and I'm not going to share that just because it's not my place to on a live stream. And I go, I just wanted you to let you know that I love your shirts. I see your redeemed shirts, and I think it is so cool when somebody is that secure in their faith. They can even be in a gym environment, and
because gyms are known for
yeah. And so what was cool is that led to about a 5-minute conversation of us just sharing our faith.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Had another gentleman, and because I notice like license plates and different things like that. Sometimes when you're in a gym, it's just like tunnel vision, so it's kind of nice to look around. And this other guy had Yahweh.
Isn't the one we saw the other day?
Yep.
So I was so curious about that.
Yeah. So
curious.
Funny how Kairos moments, God moments. So we were talking about this on Sunday, and when we saw it. And he called yesterday, and I know his name,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, you know what? I know what your license plates mean, but I want to hear your meaning behind it.
What's your reason?
Yeah, what's your reason?
You chose that to be your license plate.
And the cool thing is so he and his wife have almost matching license plates, and they're business owners, and it's just a reminder to keep themselves centered in God with all they do.
That's so cool.
And it's just, again, being able to share your faith through a license plate. Had I not seen his license plate, then that conversation would never have happened. So it is so cool to think about just the things we wear on a day-to-day, the things we do on a day-to-day, can lead to some amazingly powerful conversations. And that's between two people who are faith-filled.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody coming up to you and who doesn't know Christ or is just starting the relationship with Christ. And so what does redeemed mean? Or what does Yahweh mean? So there are so many different ways that we can be disciples and spread the word without having to say words. And I know that's a diatribe and kind of went a lot of different places, but and we can get back to the point at hand. But just 2 really cool stories that filled my cup yesterday that I felt were just they were share worthy.
That's so fantastic. And also, good morning, Chaotic Amy and Jazz, and Sir White and Crazy Branch and Antioch and Trip to the Moon and Jody's a Girl. That's as much as I see on the screen right now. I love that. And also, because I'm human, the fear of like how I'm representing those words.
Yeah.
Like if I put that on my license plate, it's like, oh. Although driving is not my thorn.
Right.
Like, so, okay, I can do that there. But, like, there's other places it'd be like.
Yeah, if you have that on your license plates, I hope and pray you do not have road rage.
Yes, or if you need help with your road rage, maybe that's the thing to be cognizant of.
That's
like,
exactly right.
Maybe I should make better choices. But the saying you always talk about is, always preach the gospel, but only use your words when necessary.
When necessary.
Like, yes. I think that is so important and so it like to create a safe zone. I've told this story
Good
before.
morning, book lover.
One of the biggest compliments I ever got. I used to teach modeling and acting, and when we get to the runway segment, I would always use Christian music, not well-known Christian music. It would just be music with a great beat and a great, you know, maybe just have a great message. Because like teenage girls, I'm not having them walk to
Yes.
some of the whatever.
Agreed.
And it was probably 3 years after I worked with this girl, and she reached out to me on Facebook, and she was just like, Miss Karina, can I ask you a question? I'm like, of course. She's like, do you think is God mad at me or something? And I was just like,
wow,
I'm far not at all qualified for this. But it had come down to the fact that her grandma has always prayed for her, and her grandma was just an old fashioned kind of thing, and her grandma was tired of praying for her and just said, I'm done praying for you, and now you're God's problem or you're the devil's problem or whatever, and just within the context of her belief.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I obscurely was the person that she felt that she had a place to turn, because that was clearly a question in her mind of she was so just like becoming that space to have the conversation, you know what I mean? And so like just whether it's the redeemed shirt or the license plate, it's you live your life out.
Yes.
And so let your light shine in the world that they see your Father's good works. Like let that be the thing. So yeah, sorry.
I absolutely love that. And I think that is so important for all of us who are faith-filled, who are Christians, who live in His way. It's, you know, we have so many opportunities each day that I think we don't even necessarily know or see.
Good morning, Tina.
Good morning, Tina. It's amazing how God can just shine lights on those little moments and just say, hey,
this is a moment.
This is a moment.
Here's a chance. Here's a chance to get
do this.
Yeah.
So it matters. It matters. Our actions matter. As if we didn't know that already.
Also, just because it also matters how you screw up. How you recover from that.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes for me, we're going totally, but we'll get back to this.
We'll get back to it.
Is the idea of like, okay, if I do this, I have to be perfect. You know, if I represent God, then I have to do it the right way. I have to be perfect about it. I had to let somebody go last week. And it was funny because my coworker called out, well, it's a good day that you're wearing your cross. And I'm like, you realize that's on me every day. Like, unless I'm dressed up for a formal occasion and my neckline matters, then it'll be so. But like, it's just how. So you have like, it's not about being perfect. It's about being loved through your perfection. You're like kids that like they come from a house where they're like unconditionally loved.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like they'll show up to the sports and they'll take the shot whether they're gonna make it or not because they know they're safe in the long run.
There's no consequences.
Yeah.
That they have to fear.
Yeah, there's nothing to fear. There's just unconditional love. So it's like it's okay if you you make mistakes.
It's okay if you make a mistake.
Because your daddy loves you anyway. Yeah. So okay, sorry. Back to the topic again.
No, I mean it's God's love is always the topic, so I think that correlates beautifully. All right, so our New Testament verse of the day comes from John in the fourth book.
Which, hold on, Spiral. Yesterday we said it was the first book. And you know why I thought it was the first book?
Why?
Because the topic that we came up with the first time the word love is used in the New Testament is the book of John.
Yep.
Which I just thought, well, if it's the first book, it makes sense. But that means that Matthew, Luke, Mark, none of them talk about love. Is that true?
It's got to be in there.
I got to look it up.
Yep,
see, curiosity.
Curiosity is good.
And don't trust us just because we're saying it.
So John 1:29. The next day John saw Jesus coming towards him and said, "Look, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world." How do you feel when you hear that?
I hear the Catholic saying, what's next? It takes away the sin of the world, have mercy on us.
Have mercy on us.
Is it a song?
No, it's a refrain.
Is it during communion? Like preparation
I don't remember what part of the Mass it is. It's been a hot minute. I don't even know if they do that part anymore. That's kind of aging ourselves there with that, but...
And how does it correlate to the Old Testament?
And the correlation, then we're coming from Genesis 22:8. And we're still on the story of Isaac.
Yes.
So, which is an amazing story. Abraham and Isaac. God will provide a sheep for the burnt offering, my son. Abraham answered, and they both walked on together. So, ugh, what do we think? I mean, so yesterday we talked about specifically the Old Testament, how Abraham was ordered by God to take his only son, who was already promised he was going to have generations of lineage through, take him up on top of the mountain and sacrifice him as a burnt offering.
Yes, Mount Moriah.
Yeah. And so this is on their way up the mountain, and Isaac is looking over at Abraham going like, Dad, dude,
What's
why
up?
am I carrying all this wood? And we don't have a lamb for the offering. That's a tough one. And right before, so Isaac is bound, he's on the wood.
Good morning, Jennifer.
And Abraham is getting ready to strike. And an angel of God comes down and says, no, stop. And God provides in that moment. There's a givey going up, so we always give away our note cards.
So you just get something happy in the
mail?
mail?
Yes, it's happy mail is really what it is.
Yes.
And a praying mantis card, because mantises like to pray. And we should take notes.
Yes.
How about you explain the praying mantis? Because my version of explanation is...
He doesn't get that. So they're V cards, which are like baseball cards or like trading cards, and V cards are from Gary Vee, and he's using his platform to promote positivity and more positive. It's one of those things where it's like he's sharing love, but like not calling it out to be, you know what I mean, not to push people away, but being like, okay, hustle culture is silly. I say all that to explain what V cards are. But I love the praying mantis because A, he's a praying mantis, and B, his hands aren't closed. Because I think sometimes we have a performance issue with praying in a certain way. Yep. And so that's just something fun for you to have or sell it on eBay. Or give away.
There's no posture God won't accept when you're talking to him. I'm a firm believer in that.
Interesting. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's what happened there because I love sending mail. It's just a thing. And so, yeah, you make me happy.
So when we think about, so awesome, Isaac was saved, right? God fulfilled his promise, generations through him, all because at the last moment, God provided an alternate sacrifice.
Although Abraham just trusted that God would have any solution. God,
yeah, I can 100% trust.
I can unalive him and God will bring him back.
Yeah,
like it was just like
whatever needs to happen. God made a promise. He knew
he's got a
by
solution.
His faith that it was going to happen. So one way or the other. So pretty freaking cool, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what. I wish I had that depth of faith.
Oh, can you imagine?
You know, I know it's different times and we think differently in today's world. But man, there are so many times I can count through my life where if I had blind faith like that, I would have saved myself so much heartache and trouble, you know? And what I mean by that is sometimes it's easy to think I've got to provide because I don't trust God enough that he's going to provide for me.
Well, he's up in a cloud.
Yes,
so,
and he's busy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he's got so many better.
He's got so many bigger problems.
Anybody else do this, or is it just us?
So this little guy in the Des Moines metro area, middle of Iowa, which let's be real, a lot of the country get Idaho and Iowa fixed. So
Ohio.
Are in Ohio? So are they Midwest? Are they a little bit more East? Are they a little bit? Do they like potatoes out there?
No, we just grow them. Good morning, Jello baby.
Or do they ride their pigs to school and
yes,
to work? You know,
very much
so it's we can belittle ourselves, right? We make ourselves small from that perspective, but God doesn't want us to be small. God created us to, and we can go on to the whole identity track and talk through this, but to live and love boldly and have true faith in Him that He's going to answer. And the beautiful thing is he does in his time, in his way, in his will.
And I think that time is a lot of the connection between these two, you know. So we talked about it yesterday. Genesis is a story that has been shared over and over and over and over and over again. Good morning, Tanya.
Good morning.
Hop in the Gibby. We're sending happy mail. Ooh, and we got 6 people to give away. That makes me so
I
happy.
love it. 1 minute to go in the Gibby.
So when you think about the fact that like these are stories that are told over and over and over again, and not just in Christian faith, this was like, this is the Torah, right?
Yeah.
This is like it's just such a repeated story. People know the story. People know the story. They know the fact that it wasn't a lamb that God provided. They know that the lamb is still missing. They know that the big sacrifice was never made. So when John says, "Look, the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world," that resonated with them. That's like singing the lines of a song, like the lyrics that we all know from the 80s or something.
Absolutely.
You know, it's something that people would recognize. And now he's calling out that Lamb of God that wasn't provided on Mount Moriah. Like, behold the Lamb of God, the one that's going to be sacrificed for all of us. It's a commonality. And I didn't realize that until, again, if you just do the New Testament, you go, just the New Testament, you go, oh, the Lamb of God, that's cute. Then you go, oh, this is book of Genesis. Jewel! Yay! Congratulations! I'm so exciting. I could have sent mail to Jewel.
Oh, I love that.
It's rigged. It's gotta be rigged. I think it's hilarious. I have no idea how these little wheelie bobbies figure things out. But don't worry, there's my second one. Y'all are going to have to hop in.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, I just think it's so interesting that I didn't realize that. And I could be wrong from what I studied and read. We are not seminarians. We don't have our MDivs. A disclaimer on everything. Was the idea that like people knew that, like he was saying that specifically in a way that would reference that people would go, oh, because if you weren't here yesterday, the statement is God will provide a sheep. God will provide a sheep. God will provide a lamb. God will provide a lamb. And then it was a ram that was sacrificed. So it was like unfulfilled.
Yes.
It was like that story that doesn't have the ending that you're waiting for.
So, Jesus, he wasn't given a pardon. He went through some crazy stuff with the Passion. He literally absorbed all of our sins. He died for our sins. And the pain and suffering, because remember, he's fully human, that he went through for that. When you really start thinking about that, that hits a whole different way.
You like going dark, don't you? We're talking about provision today. We're talking about how God provides.
And God provided for us through that, right? He gave us that opportunity to have a relationship with him through his son, Jesus, and have a way to heaven, have a way to eternity. Because without that, none of us live a life that would have been along the lines of the old laws.
Oof, could never keep up with those.
No, not at all. that would have been no.
That would have been a hot mess.
That would have been a hot mess.
Yeah.
So you hit on the Lamb takes away the sins of the world. I love this, and we have notes. Like again, we're not, as she liked to call that, we are not seminarians.
Ha.
We love that word, even though it's not a real word.
Morning, Mary Beth.
So a provision in my notes that we have here is, this is objective grace. Jesus' sacrifice is not limited to a small group. It is sufficient for all. Think about that, right? So before it was Israel. It was the Jews. The chosen. And what Jesus did was not only for them, his people, but he for all.
That sounds nice in today's world. That seems normal.
Yeah, but back then, no.
Not even close.
No. I mean, the Samaritans were like third class citizens.
Oh.
They were not a part of the world, Israel, right?
Yeah.
They were not a part of the Jewish community, and so they were not welcome. But that's one of the cool things that Jesus did is he not only sacrificed for his people, but for all. And so that means me. That means you. That means you.
It's interesting to think like that concept came from somebody so long ago.
Yeah.
You know, that's like equal rights. And Jesus was like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right. And in today's language, it is. I mean, that's really what it is.
Because it was like back in the era where like children shouldn't, or just not, shouldn't be, should be seen, not heard, or whatever. They just, they're valuable only when they can start producing things for the family.
Yep.
Women don't matter. Like when you hear the breaking of the blessing of the fish and the loaves, like they counted men. Women didn't count at all. Your Pharisees and your Sadducees were the important ones because they were educated. They were the highfalutin Rhodes scholars.
Rhodes scholars.
And
I love that.
So there was a hierarchy, one might say, and some people were more valuable than others, and one would assume that they stayed in their lane, And then Jesus comes along and is like, actually, no, all people matter. And we're like, oh yeah, all the people like us, right? And Jesus is like, no, the ones who have different plumbing, they also matter. And people are like, but, and then they're like, okay, yeah, so the adults matter, right? And he's like, no, you see that kid? And the disciples are like, hey, quit letting your kid bother the preacher. And he's like, nah, come on over. And people are like, what are you doing, Jesus? Like, we're trying to get something done here. He's like, yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's
like,
exactly right.
We're getting the kingdom together. We're ready to have a party. Let me tell you a story.
And as our church likes to say, there is nothing like a Jesus party.
Oh, ain't nothing like a Jesus party. Come to VBS there. Holy cow. That is.
Imagine over a week, 2 sessions, a morning and an afternoon, and 500, what are they?
Oh, that's one local.
Yeah, just local.
Oh.
How many, what age groups are they?
I think they start at 3 if they're potty trained until
it's like
4th or 5th grade.
4th or 5th grade, yeah. So we belong to a amazing church family that has multiple campuses, and our campus, which is a smaller one,
smaller,
right? Our city, we're about just a little under 20,000 people total. So a small city, growing city. But we have close to 2,000 members in our congregation, which is really freaking cool. But man, I'll tell you what, when you have 400 or 500 kids running around all excited, for Jesus and pouring out what they learned through the activities, the skits, and all the fun stuff that the staff put together for them. It's just like it melts you.
They don't know society's rules about religion.
Exactly.
They just know, dude,
so
this
pure.
this is awesome. Like, there's this God above that loves me. Just because I'm me. Like, it's just. Ain't no party like a Jesus party.
That's exactly
it's
right.
crazy because it's like the younger they are, the better praising they are. It's almost like Jesus said,
right?
That they, and it's just funny how you go from like that to like the middle schoolers come in with the energy, and even the high schoolers now, like they get it. They will raise their hands and worship and stuff when we have high school ministry, and then you get to the adults, and we're like the frozen chosen. We're just,
that's exactly right.
If I raise my hands. Like, you might get it's just so provision.
Do you remember that skit on Saturday Night Live?
How does that do? We have switched roles today. Have you seen this? Like, good morning, Julia. I'm gonna run this second giveaway.
Yes, please.
And I'm gonna share with you the only spiral I went on, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I got ahead of myself yesterday. Didn't realize that we were only supposed to talk about up to the altar yesterday and then the provision today.
Yep.
So I spiraled on the whole provision thing. And I'm going to tell you where I struggle. I struggle with where am I done being responsible and I'm supposed to let God take over? Because
that is a tough one.
I'm supposed to trust God for, I'm not currently on the job hunt. Thank God. I love my job.
Yes.
Some days I don't like my activities, but
yes,
no, I'm wildly blessed at where I'm crazy blessed. But I think of somebody who's on the job hunt, like you're supposed to trust God to provide, but like what? How? What, you know what I mean? Like, it was funny, I was talking to some of my students and I was like, okay, what are we going to let give God control of? And they were like, I have a test coming up. I'm going to give him control. And it's like, but like.
Yes, and you need to make sure you study.
Yeah. And so that was where my brain was like, okay, I trust God for provision, but like, where is that boundary between, you know what I mean? Like, how well do you have to be able to listen and discern between this is God's step and this is my step? Yeah. And as far as I could get was, you do all the work you can and you let go of the outcome. You surrender the outcome.
You surrender. I think that is a beautiful way to look at it.
And those steps of like, I don't know that I have the discernment of Abraham to be like, okay, my job is to get the wood and my son and the fire and a knife up the hill. And God said he'll provide, so I don't bring a ram. Like, I think I would have a problem with that part.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, well, it's irresponsible. Because I'm worldly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm worldly, and so it would be like.
It's so easy to be, to have a worldly mind.
Yeah, I'll bring the goat. Like, if he has a better one, once I get up there, then that's fine. We'll just have this one for dinner.
Well, and maybe I'm opening up a can of worms here.
Which is what we do.
Yeah.
We could go fishing with those worms. Are they night crawlers?
We absolutely could.
Okay.
I think there's
big fishes of men.
Yes, that's exactly right. Conversely, to what your struggle is, I think it's we could almost use Jesus as an out. At some times. And what I mean by that is, you know what, I don't want to do this, and so I know God's going to take care of it, and so I don't need to do it.
God's got this.
God's got this.
Yeah. If he doesn't want me to do it, then I'm grabbing.
That's exactly right. And I think that it's the wrong mentality, right?
Yes.
Because we're here to work, and spoiler alert, when you get to heaven, you're going to have a job and you're going to work. You're going to absolutely love it because it is what God truly created you for. And it will be a true Jesus party up there. But while we're here, we can't negate responsibility just as a simple way to say, yeah, God's got it.
If he wants it for me, then I'll give it. It'll be there.
So it reminds me of a joke.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, it's a little bit of a long-winded joke, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So there's a big flood, and the flood water was starting to come in the house. So the guy who was trying to get out of there went up to his roof, and by the time he got up there, that's about where the water was. And a speedboat came over and stopped and said, "Hey, hop in. We'll save you." "No, God's got me. Don't worry about it." A little bit of time goes on, and now that water is up to his waist, and mind you, he's on top of the roof. And another boat comes over and says, "Get in. You're going to drown. We'll save you." "No, God's going to save me. Don't worry about it." And now the water's up to his neck. I mean, this is a flood of biblical proportions. And a helicopter comes by and throws down a ladder and says, "Dude, it's now or never. You get in or you're going to die." "No, don't worry about it. God's got me." So unfortunately, the guy drowns. And he gets up to the pearly gates and looks over at God and says, "God, why didn't you save me?" And God looks at him and says, "What are you talking about? I sent 2 boats and a helicopter." So I think we can miss, and that's just an oldie but goodie.
Yeah.
But it puts it in perspective.
God's showing up and showing up.
God's showing up in a lot of different ways, and I think it's so easy.
Hop in the Gibby if you haven't yet.
Hop in the Gibby. 3 seconds.
3, 2, No, but I think that's so powerful, especially when we're like, oh, and congratulations, T.
Nice job.
Yay. I love this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just in the habit of sending mail daily, and I love that. I'm totally fine with that.
Absolutely.
I might have to find a different V card to send her this time.
I know.
Because
yes.
there's other ones too.
And not that, I mean, this has symbolism, right?
The praying mantis.
The praying mantis. But I'm just throwing this out there. If you happen to check out on eBay, these things go for like 16 to 25.
Well, they're listed.
They're listed for about there.
Depends on what they.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of value in them.
Yeah.
So not to make it a monetary thing, because that's not the point.
Yes.
But sorry.
The value is to who the person.
Yes.
And when it's time, it's So, but I also might have a collection of other ones, too. Not just praying mantis. So we'll see if the spirit leads me to send a different character to you this time, because that one's already ready for your other one. I haven't gone out yet. So I do love that story. That's just that idea that like God's showing up like in tangible ways, and sometimes we're just like, but I want him to show up my way.
Yes,
I want him to do it my way, which I think is another part of that provision word. Is that like provision doesn't mean God ain't Burger King.
Right.
You don't get it your way. Sometimes his provision is yes. Sometimes his provision is not yet. And sometimes his provision is, I got something better for you.
That traffic light.
Yeah. There are times in life that, I mean, I would just be honest, is that like I felt the pull to do the thing. And like I had absolutely no idea how or why, or it's not. It don't make sense in a worldly way. It is dumb. It is like moving out to California at $300 to my name, but the boss I worked for is like, I'm moving to LA. You want to come with? And okay, because that you're inner knower, as Mel says, you're inner knower. You just do it. And you're like, I don't. In my brain, it wasn't like God will provide like He did, But you're inner knower.
Yes.
And then to step out into the situation of freedom I did about 5 years ago. Yeah. Terrifying. Absolutely. When you're like, I have no job, I have no home, I have no way to provide, I have it but it's just that it's that time, and God's like, it's that time, it's and Absolutely. You're just like, I can't do this on my own. I can't break these chains on my own. I used to rely on alcohol as a solution for problems. I can't do that. Like, I can't get over that on my own. There's just moments where you're like, I want to do everything I can, but my I can is
it's stuck on I can't.
Yeah, it's just, and it's not even like a mindset. It's just like the real world. I don't have what it takes. Like, I can't.
And I think that's and I don't want to put words in your mouth. It's when we are a little lost. And I'm not trying to insinuate anything, but when we're lost, or we, even though we love God and know God, sometimes it's easy to just have him outside the bubble, looking in, trying to talk to us, as opposed to having him right next to us where he always is. Mm-hmm. And it makes those times and those situations even more difficult. And he knows I have put myself in those situations many, many times, where I've pushed him and others away. And man, it is a lonely place, and it is a lost space. It's just, you don't know up from down. You don't know which direction to go. But I will say this, is even in those moments, when you have that trust in him, somehow your knower knows that, right? And it brings a little bit of peace. And through that moment, he will take you on the next step. And a lot of times it's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
It's an ultra.
It's an ultra. And I like to go back to the footprints photo, right? That's so well known and overused. But I mean,
you can never overuse the
it's there. There's a lot of truth in it. where in those moments when you are next to God and you don't have the strength to keep pushing, or you're just lost and you don't know which direction to go,
Overwhelmed,
Yeah.
or
all of a sudden your your footprints disappear. Because
there's
that's
one
the
set.
moment where Jesus is carrying you, right? Where God's carrying you. And so there are many beautiful things with a relationship God. And it doesn't necessarily mean things are always perfect, because they are far from it. I think all of us on here can attest to that. And just because we live in a humanistic world, a worldly
What?
world, who unfortunately in the past are vocal ism. I'm going to make up a word.
We love that. That's
Yep.
what we do here.
Our vocalisms
Yes.
are quiet when it came to God. But what I do absolutely love is there is a large resurgence of people talking about their faith.
Having
And
super
it is so important. And because that's what we need most in this world right now. We need more Jesus.
We need more Jesus. Just to spiral back, I have to admit that when I was in my biggest struggles, that's when I felt closest. Like I wasn't running, I was there. Beautiful. But I think what my biggest takeaway from that is like, okay, I'm in a mess, God, I need you, and I feel you so close, because I couldn't, like my bank account, like doesn't make sense. Like right. I love math, and math doesn't make sense in my bank account because it somehow worked. You know, I remember sitting in the parking lot of where we live now, going like, there's no way. Yeah. And then we live here. You know what I mean? Like, and I moved it. Like, it was just, so there's that. But I think my biggest thing there was like, okay, in those moments, his provision, Jehovah Jireh, there. And then it was, okay, but now when he provides, do I stay as close?
Right.
Or do I spiral and go like, oh, look, $100. I'm over here. And he's like, hey, but remember how close we were? Like, remember that? Yeah. And so I think that's my, but I don't go create issues.
Right.
And sometimes I think that could be the thing, is that like, okay, well, now I don't have a need, so I need to go create. Exactly. No, you can just go walk in his way, and you can help other people be in that space. So. Yeah, we started early so we could end early, and we're not ending early.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the moral of today?
The moral of today is to eat your fruits. No, I think the provision thing, the trusting God, is what is my part, what is God's part? What is the ram, and what is the knife? And how tight are you holding the knife? Like, when you think of that thing that's important to you today, what is your part? And where do you have to let God? Like, for me, it's the idea of like when I would study, and then I'm like collapsing on my books. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, if you don't know it by now,
yep.
So like, okay, God, I've gone as far as I could. I'm not expecting you to give me an A, but like maybe a good night's sleep.
we'll take it. We'll take it.
Like, so the separation. And if you don't know the difference, then maybe pray. And maybe listen. I don't know. It's a novel idea.
Makes a huge difference.
I heard once this thing called prayer was.
Yeah. It kind of works.
Yeah.
But I love that phrase, right? And I think we use it a lot. But I don't think we've ever used it on this platform, is let go and let God. That is so powerful, right? And there's obviously a verse from a song, but let go and let God. I'll play it for you.
Oh, is that like DC Talk or?
I don't think it's DC Talk. It's newer. But anyways, it's so important to do. Sometimes, no matter what we have going on or what we're facing, or what we're trying to hold on to, we just have to let go and let God.
Let go of the control of the outcome.
Yes.
I mean, I think the outcome is his. The work is ours.
The work is ours. Yeah, but trust him with the outcome. Because he'll get you there. That is for absolutely sure.
Not the outcome you want all the time.
It's not maybe the outcome you want, but
he's got to. Oh, last thing. So the provide.
Yes.
The one thing I did notice, the word is not like to give.
I don't
know if you got to this point, but it's to see to it. And the reference is that he sees the big picture.
Yes.
So he sees to it that the whole thing works together in the end. So when we say like, oh, God will provide, it's like, oh, you got up the mountain. And he was like, well, let's see, what do I have in my tool belt? Okay, I put a ram there. He had this whole plan for the whole thing. I thought that was awesome. Okay, we got to go. Let's go read.
Yes.
Devin. I think it's probably during journal time. So if you hop over to see Devin Opie's, I'm not doing this right. Enjoy the music. Okay, guys, we love you. There's
guys.
more
See
shows
you
to bookmark if you
tomorrow.
want to, and we will see you in the morning. Go to Devin right now.